I'm Jen Benepe, and this is The Real Deal. In our September issue, we look at a new wave of high-end rentals going up along the far west of 42nd Street. Those projects add to a handful of other condo projects that have been springing up here over the past few years. The newest projects, however, are being developed by some of the biggest real estate players in New York. The Moynihan Group has 605 West 42nd Street, Related Companies has 440 West 42nd Street, and Silverstein Properties has 600 West 42nd Street. The two biggest issues facing these developers is how will they convince buyers to come live this far west, and will they compete with each other when all of their inventory is coming on around the same time? So we all know that land is very expensive in New York City, and therefore it's also sometimes very hard to develop rental properties. What made this feasible?
It really all depends on the market and what the formula is. It's land cost, it's the cost of doing a project versus what you can get in rent.
Now, you also waited a little bit before you started this project. You were going to start in 2001, I think you said?
Well, we actually had developed this project in 2001 and had a building design for the property, but at the time the project didn't make sense, and Mr. Silverstein decided to wait until it was more financially viable for him to do.
Tell me a little bit about the building.
The building is about 1,200,000 square feet of space. It's 645 feet high. I have two 60-story towers and a 13-story inclusionary housing building. I have 84 units in the inclusionary housing building. I have 107 corporate apartments in the base of the building, and the balance of the 1,359 units are in the two towers.
What kind of things are you going to be offering to renters in terms of concessions? Because there is some issue about the economy now.
I don't believe we're going to offer anything. We price the units at the right level.
You have two other competitors coming to market, Moynihan Group and Related Companies. How do you expect to compete with the thousands of units that they're bringing onto the market at almost the same time?
As everybody in the industry knows right now, the purchase units are becoming a little less desirable, and it's a good time to rent high-end luxury apartments. And right now we believe that it's priced right.
So with approximately a little bit over 3,000 units coming due in this area exactly, you don't think the market will be flooded?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a great market here. It's a desirable neighborhood. The restaurants along 10th and 9th Avenue are terrific. And the retail area around here has become better since we built the first building in 2000.
In total, over 3,000 luxury rental units with prices ranging from $2,000 to well over $4,000 for a studio are scheduled to hit the market over the next few years here. But at those prices, it's unclear just how much these projects will need to incentivize renters, especially if the economic downturn lasts for the next few years. Now we'll talk to Tal Aviezer of the Times Square Alliance about whether the retail amenities that have already taken place around 8th Avenue and 9th Avenue will creep further west. Are the twain going to meet at some point?
Yes, I think that my organization is focusing mainly on developments in the 8th and 9th Avenue areas, and I think that those developments and retail businesses are likely to see a resurgence and a revitalization first. And I think that's already happening now, and I think that movement will begin on 8th and 9th Avenue and then sort of move west towards the river.
Now, approximately 3,000 units are going to be coming on board in the 11th Avenue area all around the same time. Do you think that's too many rental units for this area?
Well, I guess that we will sort of wait and see what the market will bear. I can tell you that in addition to those, around the 8th Avenue corridor, there are approximately 7,000 new residential units that are either in development or poised to come on the market or just coming on the market even as we speak. So far, the residency in the several block area around 8th Avenue, which I can speak to, is still quite high, and the new developments are not having difficulty filling their residential units.
Now, some of these rentals are pretty pricey.
I think that the market will support those kind of rents. We've seen some very high rents in Midtown Manhattan, over the past 10 years. If the economy changes and people can no longer afford those kind of rents, then the landlords and the developers and the building managers will have to adjust accordingly.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of The Real Deal webcast. I'm Jen Benepe, and we'll see you next week.